Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another movie review. I've been really wanting to do some commentaries for the Nightmare on Elm Street films and the Friday the 13th films, but I figured I would go ahead and do another movie review in between then, more like a franchise review. So we'll start off by saying I'm a bigger Batman fan than I am a Superman fan, but I figured I'd do some Superman movie reviews. As a matter of fact, the whole franchise, not counting Man of Steel, which I've already done in a separate video, but to just do the Superman franchise films. The original Superman, directed by Richard Donner, I think is a classic DC film, classic comic book film in general. It's a great film. It's one of the best superhero films, comic book films ever made, in my opinion anyway. It's a classic. Everybody knows pretty much everything about this movie, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Gene Hackman does a great job. It's a campy but fun Lex Luthor. He's great in the movie. My favorite version of Lex Luthor, honestly. Well, I don't know about that. My favorite version of Lex Luthor is probably the Smallville one, but this is damn close. I'd have to compare them back to back. But yeah, he's great. Any problems with the film? The origin story stuff in the film is kind of more exciting and more epic and interesting to watch than when he actually just becomes standard Superman. And I would have liked a little bit more of his origin story before he became Superman. I would have liked a little bit more of that. Marlon Brando's great in the film. Everybody knows the plot of Superman. The Krypton blows up. Superman comes to Earth. I like the fact that his father dies of a heart attack and he's not able to save him, even though he has all his powers. That was cool. All in all, Superman's an easy 4-star flick. Everybody loves Superman in the movie. And if you don't, that's cool. But I mean, you know, it's obviously a great film. Richard Donner does a great job here, which is pretty interesting because I believe he also directed The Omen, this is a pretty, opposite thing going on here. But he does a great job here. Great film. Superman 2. A lot of people like this better than the original. I'll be honest, I've never seen the Richard Donner cut, but just going by the Richard Lester cut, I'd give it 3 out of 4. It's a good movie, but it's not great. I don't think it's as good as Superman 1. First of all, you don't have the epic origin story, so pretty much you just have like an action flick. And one thing I don't like about these Christopher Reeve films, even though Christopher Reeve is my favorite version of Superman, one thing I don't like about him is Superman's powers are never really defined. It seems like sometimes he can just do anything, or he just gets powers made up on the spot, like a super kiss that makes people forget shit. I hated that in this movie. It's such a cop-out ending. Terrence Stamp is amazing as General Zod. He is great, hilarious. The final battle's cool. Of course, it's made in the 70s. Don't expect Man of Steel special effects here, people. But it's made in the 70s. It's just a great fight. And I like how Superman outsmarts the General Zod at the end, making him think that he's taking away his powers, but he's really taking away theirs. That was cool. Gene Hackman really has no place in the film, but he's fun when he's there, though. He's hilarious, but he really has no part, really, in this film. He's just kind of there. And I don't like the ending where Superman goes back and gets revenge on the guy that like beats him up. The way he does it, he just kind of like pulverizes the dude. I don't like that. That shouldn't have happened. Superman should have took him out in a way that was more Supermanish, like had the dude punch him and like his fist break or something. That would have been cool. Teach him a lesson, but not like, pulverize the dude. That's a little much. But that doesn't fit with this version of Superman, the Christopher Reeve version. But all in all, 3 stars out of 4. Good film. Superman 3, this is when stuff goes awry and gets really down the crapper fast. This is more of a Richard Pryor film. There's some good ideas here. I like Annette O'Toole being in the film. And the fact that the movie takes place a lot in Smallville, it was cool, but they don't really do much with it. Richard Pryor's kind of the death knell in this film for me. I love Richard Pryor, but his comedy in a PG-type flick just does not work. Richard Pryor's great when he can just go over the top in other films, but here he's doomed by the rating. It just does not work, and more of the film is focused on him than Superman. It's just bad. The junkyard fight in the film is great between Superman versus, his good side. That was cool. All in all, I'll give it 1 star. The villain at the end, the robot-looking creature, is really dorky and corny. All in all, it's 1 star, and the comedy's just pushed way too far here. Next, everybody would probably agree Superman, The Quest for Peace is by far the worst Superman, and they wouldn't be kidding because it is. Superman, The Quest for Peace is dog crap. 0, the special effects are horrible. Superman shows up wanting to rid the world of nuclear war. He throws all the nukes into the sun, which is a horrible idea. The Nuclear Man is probably either the worst or close. Maybe even the worst comic book character I've ever seen. Nuclear Man. Dude looks like Fabio with long hair and super long fingernails. It's stupid. 0, this movie's just dumb as hell. 0 for Quest for Peace, when a character can breathe in space for no reason, even though they're human. It makes no sense. 0. Superman Returns. I want to give this film another shot. I used to hate it. Watching it again now, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Honestly, I'd give it 2.5. It's alright. After Superman 3 and 4, Superman 3 is a 1-star flick. It sucks. But Superman 4 is 0. It's terrible. Superman Returns is alright. I'd give it 2.5. I like the fact that it's a sequel to Richard Donner's first 2 films, but it's a soft reboot. Like how you go from the first 3 Child's Play films, you can get something like Bride of Chucky, it's a different style, but still takes place in the same universe. That's what you get here. It's kind of the same universe, but the characters have been rebooted to fit the modern times that they came out in. Kevin Spacey does a good job as Lex Luthor. He's not great like Gene Hackman, but he does a good job. Problems with this film is mostly it's boring. The kid subplot, I used to hate, but watching it now, at least it's something different. I mean, it's better than just Superman being just a standard Boy Scout all the time. At least they tried to add something. All in all, the film's just kind of bland. It's more of like a romantic woe is me Superman where he's like pining after Lois Lane through the whole film. And it kind of makes Superman seem like a douche because he's trying to like steal Lois Lane away from this guy who's clearly a good dude. So that makes Superman seem a little douchey. In the end, though, Superman accepts his part in the world, though, is what we're supposed to get, and he's done with the love triangle, and he's just going back to being standard Superman. This is pretty much him getting over his emotions, or whatever this flick was, and the next one would have been, the punching movie, or whatever, where he's back to being standard Superman, or whatever, more lovesick. But yeah, all in all, an alright film. I don't hate this film like I used to. It's just kind of bland. It's alright. Brandon Routh does an okay job as Superman. He hardly speaks for some of the film, and he was probably only hired because he looks like Christopher Reeve. Honestly, his acting is nowhere near as good as Christopher Reeve, but he's okay. He's not bad. He's just okay. It's like this is like the Batman Forever of the Superman films. It's like the alright one. Superman. That's pretty much it. That's all. Well, that's all of them. I got ready to mention Man of Steel, but yeah, that's all the Superman films. In terms of Superman, 1 and 2, I really enjoy. 1 is great. 2 is good. The Richard Lester cut. I've never seen the Donner cut, but I'd like to. Superman 3 sucks. Superman 4 sucks. Superman Returns is all right. I wouldn't have minded a sequel to it just to see what they would have done with this universe. I don't like the Lois Lane in Superman Returns. I think she's good for what she has to do. Or okay for what she has to do, but she just leaves kind of no impression. All in all, it's an alright movie in the Superman canon. Man of Steel is an awesome Superman film, like an awesome reboot, taken for what it is. It's an awesome reboot of a darker Superman. Easily the second best in the series. Not counting the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, which I haven't seen, but everybody hypes up as being like a great flick. But I haven't seen it. I'll have to check that out. But just for the theatrical versions, yeah, this is my reviews for them. All in all, for the Superman films, I say honestly, watch 1 and 2 and Man of Steel, really. That's the 3 best. Superman Returns is give or take. I wouldn't recommend watching it, but if you do watch it, it's alright. It's not terrible. It's just kind of average. So yeah, all in all, that's my review for the Superman films, and I'll see you guys again with, hopefully a film commentary. If not, it'll probably be a review for Supergirl, just because I want to actually watch that film for the first time. I've never seen it. So I'll see you guys again with the next video.